Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern from Modern Salon TV. I am here with Antwon Jackson, the totally fabulous Antwon Jackson, who is the hairdresser for Wendy Williams, and you've also cut and styled a lot of the wigs for the Wendy Williams Hair World line, and you get to work with her every single day and make those great wigs. Yeah, are you having fun?
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
She's so great. All right, so he brought one of the wigs. Oh, see, I love that. Somebody taking care of me. He brought one of the wigs from Wendy Williams Hair World, and this has not been Wendy-ized yet. Is that what you said?
Yes, Wendy eyes.
This is one of her very. You'll be seeing it on the show soon, but maybe not just like this.
Oh, no.
So we asked around for some professionals and said, what are your top 3 concerns when it comes to cutting wigs? And the top 3 are cutting the fringe, adding volume, and getting rid of the steps that one finds when you cut wigs. So let's take it from the top. Let's talk about cutting the fringe. How does one cut the fringe?
Well, how I started to cut the fringe, I start at the corner, at the end of the eyebrows with a really nice slice, like a nice pie slice. It's a little challenging over here, but we'll get it.
And I should just say, he said the reason Wendy never wears bangs is because you have trouble cutting them. You have trouble with the fringe.
It's either hit or never or miss. But I always start long, and that's my whole point. I always start right here at the tip of the nose. Zero elevation with just slight over direction. And I start long. Any mistakes I can kind of clean up and work my way up into my desired shape and length. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah. Or you can always push the wig forward, and then it's longer.
But that's deception, though, because then when we pull it back, it's shorter.
Well, then
There's nothing like a short bang on the wrong one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
All right, so that's a good tip. Mm-hmm. So slight over direction, minimal elevation or zero elevation, and just step back here so we see, and then
Slice, and I start and I come in, and I point cut.
And I know when we were talking before, you said it's just almost you're cutting strand by strand. Yeah, you know, you have to be so
to minimize any mistakes, like major mistakes, like any small mistakes, I can kind of clean up, and that way it gives a lot of softness around the base, and the lines aren't so hard.
So it's just being patient and slow. Okay, number 2, adding volume. How does one add volume to a wig?
Well, with a lot of her wigs, they all have a natural wave, so I like to let them air dry, to leave just a little wave at the roots, and I will flip them upside down to give me some lift. Yes. And so when styling also, I would just spray the roots with a little hairspray, or a lot, depends on the amount of hold I want, and I may tap it with my nano to give me some lift, or my hot tools.
Okay, so in addition to the nano, any favorite spray, anything that really makes it work?
Oh, of course, I love Elnet. I love my Elnet.
Okay.
I love it. Yes.
Okay. So, and that's pretty much what you would do to a regular client, other than you're not going to have your client have her hair upside down. Okay. And then number 3.
Well, if it were a regular client, and if it depended, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But if it were a regular client, depends on her texture. I would still try to leave just a little wave at the roots for some lift.
Okay, I love that's actually a great suggestion. All right, then number 3, our final question: how do you cut the hair so that one doesn't see steps or edges?
Well, I always like to go in. I like to go in, and if I see any lines, I would go in after razor cutting, or if I use the shears, I would go in just slice. Nice little C formation.
This way?
Okay,
That way, yeah.
this way? Yes, I would come in with my shears, elbow raised, and just slice out and texturize the ends to remove those lines.
Okay, and are you using shears or a razor?
Shears.
You do use shears?
Yes.
Okay.
Shears and razors. But a razor's not going to give me the lines. So the lines will come after using the shears. Then I have to go in and clean them up and texturize to soften it and create movement.
Okay, is there any difference cutting synthetic versus human hair?
I don't know, because I really don't work with synthetics too much, and I'm sure you can't really, just from my knowledge, I don't think you can really cut synthetic. You can't texturize the ends like you would because of the fibers. It may create a frizzy mess.
Okay.
That's all I'm thinking.
Okay. So then my last question is, when you Wendy-ize this one, how will it look different? What is it you're going to do to this to make it Wendy-worthy?
We say that in terms of we're going to add so much more volume. We're going to add some more wefts, because she has a larger-than-life personality, so this is so not her. And we have to really make it TV-ready to balance out her personality, her on-screen persona. So we're going to add more hair in, and we're going to add some highlights around the front.
And that's very interesting that you say that because once one gets a wig, you can still go in there and still
It's
add.
about customization. You have to customize it and make it your own. You never take a wig out of the pack and just put it on.
Well, that's good to know. And what I said to Wendy, yeah, we had a little joke about that.
Just a little jokey joke.
Oh, you threw me. What was I going to ask you? Oh, so, and the one thing that Wendy and I did discuss was to make sure when you get a wig to bring it to your professional hairdresser and have it customized for you. Make sure the fringe is right and make sure maybe you do need some wefts, correct? I mean, bring it to the professional.
You have to because everyone's has different face shapes. So you have your hairdresser, experienced hairdresser, would know what your shape is and what fringe works best for you. You know, someone with a hard jaw, a hard square face, a full fringe won't work. So we know to do sweep. So you have to know those things. You have to be very knowledgeable when it comes to face shapes.
And so for the typical hairdresser who maybe doesn't have a lot of experience with wigs, just really get them and play with your mannequins and just kind of work on them, get comfortable with them.
It's just hair, people. It's not that serious. Have fun. It's just hair.
Well, I just love meeting you. I love meeting Wendy. She's a blast. You're a blast. So it's Antwon Jackson for Wendy Williams Show and Wendy Williams Hair World. And just a great guy, great hairdresser, and a great wig cutter. I love you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, you guys.